Oh, it's locked. Go unlock it. Is the doorbell locked? I could have swore I unlocked it. What's going on? It's Rozy Sparks, speaking from the heart, coming from the valley. We in the studio, about to show you how it goes down, make some beats, make some music, show you how we chill. What I do is I make beats. I've been into hip hop for quite some time now and always wondered how beats were made, and so I just got on it, started off with GarageBand, and then I was like, man, I need to get some more deeper into it, you know what I mean? So then I upgraded to the Logic Pro X, and from there on I've just been striving to create an original sound that's different from the music out there that you hear all the time, because there's a lot of people out there trying to make music and gotta have something that sparks the people's mind, you know, their heart, grab them, because it's so accessible to anybody to really just grab a music program and be able to create something from the software programs that are preloaded onto there. So for me, I've just strived to get different sounds that aren't easily accessible to anybody and just do what I can from that and make stuff from the heart, and hopefully people will feel it the same way I feel it whenever it's complete. And to do so, I started digging through some crates of records and seeing what I could find in them stacks of wax and sampling records, assigning them to my MPC here, seeing what different combinations I can come up with. I think I got my first record player like 2 Christmases ago, and since then I've just been trying to learn as much as I can about different genres of music, and that's where like mixing comes in too, selecting music and just knowing all the good tunes that get lost through time, and then like the population just gets fed specific music, you know what I mean, and that's what they give into, and it's like people don't really strive to listen to new things, in my opinion, really. Like they take what they're given and that's about it. The bass, I think they like the bass, man, and I can't hate on that, because bass is just, everybody loves bass, but at the same time it's like you gotta get past that and really listen to the content that they're talking about. And it's just, to me, yeah, all you hear is just like people talking about how bad of a person they are, like, oh, I fucked this person's bitch, and like I sell drugs and like all this shit. And it's like, to me, I don't do that shit, you know. I'm trying to be the best version of me that I can be, so my music, I want to reflect that, and like hopefully people will listen to it and they'll be like, oh, you know, I don't have to think this way just because somebody else likes it, you know. I want to do this because I like it, and to me that's what's really important. Today I work a construction job, and today on the construction job I was listening to some old jazz, and like every time someone would walk past I'd get this crazy ass look like, who the hell has this on? Like people don't even know who these people are. Like this guy right here, my man Sun Ra. Sun Ra, he's a wild dude, man. He got some crazy experimental jazz, and like I said, there's so many jazz artists and just different genres of music that just get lost. And unless you really get into vinyl and stuff like that, I feel like that's the only way to really find it, is just digging and finding something that intrigues you, a cover that you might like, throwing it on, and something, you know, you hear it and you're like, wow, that's really cool, I like that, and then you want to listen to the rest of it and then discover more artists that are like that. Cover art, to me that's important. It's really important, because like, for instance, for me, like going in a record store, digging through some crates, I might pull out a record that I've never even heard of the artist before, and they might have a sick cover, so just for that reason I'm gonna get it. And 9 times out of 10 there's some crazy ass shit on there. Like Cam, my buddy Cam, he pulled out this one here. Rather Ripped Records, this Ronnie Laws. We threw it on, ended up listening to it, there's an MF Doom sample on there. So like, you never know. I mean, I hate to judge a book by its cover, but at the same time, sometimes the cover says a lot. To me, I like sampling music because you're taking what is given to you and creating something totally different out of it. But then there'll be people that'll argue with you, saying that, you know, you didn't actually play those instruments or whatever. But someone outside of the hip hop community or the sampling community, they can't really respect it because they don't understand the work that actually goes into it. I know there's a lot of stuff surrounding sampling with like lawsuits and all that stuff, but I mean, it's not really about that to me. I'm not making any money off of this currently, so to me it's just about the raw art form of it. It really is totally different. Like, I could show you songs that people have sampled and you can't even tell, but then there are songs that people just take like a straight loop out of that record, loop it up, and then they just use that, and then they'll throw some drums behind it or something like that. But still, like, you creating lyrics and a whole different feeling over top of that, and you're also broadcasting it to a completely different set of ears. I like to come down. I'm still new to the DJ thing too. I'm still trying to sharpen my skills on that. But it's fun, man. That's a good way to pass my time, is just cutting up some beats and doing some beat juggling, doing a little scratching here and there. That's just straight fun to me. But like, the really cool part is whenever I do dig through the records and then I find something that I like, and I'm like, how can I use this? How can I chop it up? How can I rearrange it to make it sound like it's my own and that other people are gonna like too? I mean, that's not my main focus. Mainly I want to listen to it and be like, all right, that's sick. I don't really care what other people think. But at the same time, you gotta project it to people in a way that you can be successful from it. That's a huge family right there. Like, it really is. They all just lean on each other so much. Just yeah, for real. Like, clothing, that's what you put on your body. That's how you want to be perceived as a person, you know. Some people might not view it as that, but to me, that's how it is. People they just be like, that's tight, and then they see people just styling on a skateboard doing that too, and they're like, oh, I wish I could do that, and just rock the clothes. I feel like I want to be perceived for the way that I am, so I just kind of dress the way I feel. And shouts out to Sports, because he makes dope clothing, and like, I can rock that shit. But then again, you could go to thrift stores and you can find anything. You can just, whatever you feel, wear it. Be yourself. Like, that goes back to the music too. How I said, like, I want to make shit that inspires people to think for themselves and be like, I don't have to dress like this because it impresses so-and-so. I'm just doing it for me. Music and art together, like we were talking about album covers, like that's just one example right there. But like, I feel like hip-hop has influenced art in such a way, just because like the whole graffiti scene, like I feel like without hip-hop there would be no graffiti, which is like a huge impact on streetwear and just street culture in general. Like, you walk down the street anywhere, there's graffiti, and like half the people probably don't even know the whole background of graffiti and like how it came about and the expression behind it. And, great minds think alike. And I watched a documentary last night, Our Vinyl Weighs a Ton. Shouts out to Stone's Throw, Peanut Butter Wolf. And like, it's crazy because Peanut Butter Wolf started this record label, and no matter who he signed, you could see that they all like came from like that same feeling, you know what I mean? Like, he had people doing funk, people rapping, people doing just weird ass music like Gary Wilson. But like, no matter what, you could tell that all that music had like the same passion behind it. And that's where like Peanut Butter Wolf was just taking these crazy chances, signing these people that you would never think in a million years would be popular. But like, I don't know. I don't even know how it worked out, but it did. And he just put his heart into those people, and those people gave it back. Kind of got off topic there, but I don't know. Whenever music's good, you can feel it. And I forget what I was kind of talking about a little bit. But yeah. To me, social media has depreciated art, because like, you'll be scrolling through and you'll see a piece of art and like you might not even see who the artist was, and you'll be like, oh, I like that art, and that's like the end of it, and you just keep on scrolling. Like back in the day, you see a piece of art and you really admire it, and you would want to find out who did that piece. Right now, I would really like to focus on getting an official project out for the Free Souls here. But Free Souls is a collective of friends making music. Like I said before, just making music that makes us happy and just tells people a little bit about how we feel about the world we're living in right now. And I'd like to get a project, official project, because we have songs out there, but it's not really packaged in a mixtape or an album type form. So I'd like to do that. And then from there, have like a listening party, and then I'd like to play some shows and see where it goes from there, really. Like one thing that I would really like to accomplish is just traveling around playing shows for people that enjoy the music and like not really having to worry about money, you know, just making enough money to travel from place to place and be cool, put some food in my belly, keep my homies safe. Exactly.
It's like oh, they out there. I've been saying that for too long. And anytime I mention it, people look at me like there's a screw gone, saying things like, man, you wrong, or what's he on? But I just keep on keeping on. Yo, I'm on my way. Don't care what people say. Just cause things are strange, ain't no reason to be afraid. Embrace the change, break yourself free from the reins. People got it in their brains that if you ain't the same, you must be crazy and deranged, like, but who's to say? It's best you stay about their way and get cut like fairways. They on the airwaves, listening. I begin spitting and they be like, shit's him again. The one with flow so riveting, it keeps a kid from fidgeting and make their mind spin round just like a Michelin. You wonder if they greys are reptilians, and also if they're here to stay or if they just visiting. Consumed by the media, the lies they feeding you, proceeding the downfall of us all. Big and tall to extra small, get involved if you got big enough balls. That's all I got. That's all y'all get.